Hey, I'm on YouTube Live. Yay! Okay, so it's been a week. A week with this wonderful new CPAP machine. And to be fair, yeah, I think it's kind of working. Um, I do feel like I've got a little bit more energy, but not a lot. But honestly, it's been a crazy week. As a matter of fact, I got to switch hands, partly because of how crazy this week it's been. Um, so, yeah, so I've had the CPAP machine for a week. It's a little uncomfortable when I wake up. Um, the the way the mask is, I can actually probably show it to you here. So this is the mask. It literally, the tube part is on the top of my head. Obviously the bands would go behind my head, and this bottom part here just goes up and pushes up against my nose. Um, anyways, um, excuse me. So I like that the hose is on the top of the head too, because it's like out of the way. It doesn't feel like the hose is coming up across me or anything like that, which I like. But the mask push basically sits like this underneath my nose, and it's fine at first when I get comfortable, and I usually fall asleep no problem. But I have been waking up earlier than I wanted to, and I find it hard to get back to sleep because it feels like right in here, almost like as if I had a scab there and somebody's like rubbing at it, and you know how painful somebody rubbing your scab can be, right? So, um, yeah, I don't like it. Um, in that sense, I actually tomorrow afternoon have to go and like there's a memory card in here which I have to still figure out how to remove the memory card. And I got actually no, they told me to bring the whole machine the first time actually, which is good because I really don't know how to get the memory card out of that. Um, so yeah, so I got to take it in, and I got to make sure that everything's working properly and everything. I think I'm gonna stick with the mask though, honestly, because I can't imagine being too comfortable with anything else. Anyways, we're gonna stick with it. Um, I went through one 4 liter bottle of distilled water in a week for it. It takes distilled water. That's so that the air that you're breathing in isn't too dry, and then you wake up all dry mouth and everything because that sucks. Which I know because I used to sleep like this, so I know all about dry mouth. So yeah, so we're yeah, that's the update on the CPAP. The other thing is I was in the hospital last night. I was at work and I was just putting something back up, reaching up. I It was maybe slightly a little higher out of my reach than probably should have been, but nothing I hadn't done a million times before. And I actually couldn't get it to go. Like it was a hook that I was trying to get into a piece of slat wall. So if you ever use slat wall in any sort of retail job and so forth, you're familiar with how the slat wall works. Something goes in, so you got to lift it up a little bit, put it in, and then it comes down and sits in there, right? So I was trying to put a hook into the slat wall. I couldn't get it to go in because there was something in my way. So I gave up, and radiating pain right in here, all right in here, like I had pulled a muscle or something. Um, I don't know if I pulled a muscle or not. I have no idea. But it sure felt like I did. Um, and I was in so much pain that I was like, I got to get this checked out. So I went. Um, I By the time I got down there, the pain was starting to radiate to my back. I couldn't get comfortable. Standing was uncomfortable, or like more than uncomfortable. It was painful. It was painful to be standing. It was painful to be sitting. The effort of actually even just trying to stand up or sit down was also painful. Everything I did just hurt. Um, and it was getting pretty unbearable. The doctor kindly came in to check me out, and at that point the pain was so bad that I was having troubles breathing a couple of times, because like, when you're in severe amount of pain, sometimes you're like, you kind of brace down and you stop breathing for a second. And so of course, because I had stopped breathing, all of a sudden I got to take deep breaths, and taking a deep breath hurt as well. So the doctors, even as I'm making this video, I'm actually in a bit of pain right now. But anyways, not sure what's going on there. I'm buffering. Hopefully okay, I think we're back. My apologies. Um, yeah, so he's checking me out. I'm having troubles breathing, and he asks me. He's like, because again, I think he was having troubles hearing, because he's having me take deep breaths, which of course is causing me pain. So I don't know that I'm taking the greatest deep breaths that I should be. And he goes, "So have you ever popped a lung before?" I'm like, "Excuse me, what? No, what? Popping a lung? What?" Um, so I was like, "Not that I'm aware of." So he's like, "Well," he goes, "we're gonna send you for some X-rays to make sure you haven't popped a lung." I'm like, jeez, way to make me feel better. I thought I just pulled a muscle. So I go get my X-ray. Very cute, very young, cute X-ray technician. She had to help me take my sweater off because I couldn't lift my arm up high enough to pull the sweater off over my head. Um, Took the X-rays, went back, waited for a few minutes, and she's like, the doctor came back and he's like, "Yeah," and he's like, "No, your lungs are fine. It's just probably a muscle pull. So we're gonna give you some pill. We're gonna give you a painkiller, and we're gonna give you a prescription for some pain medication, and we'll see you sending you on your way." Okay. So I'm sitting there waiting in the waiting room again, waiting for them to bring me this prescription and so forth. And the nurse comes in, who also, by the way, was very cute as well. The nurse comes in and she's like, "Yeah, we're gonna get you to come over here and wait over here." And they actually take me into a room, which they hadn't done. So like where I was, what they do is when they bring you in, when they finally decide they have room to bring you in, if you're not severe situation, like basically if you're not dying, there's like another waiting room that you wait in, and that's where I was the whole time, with other patients who also, some of them, like there was a young teenage girl there with her parents who I think they said she had like sprained her ankle, and there was another young girl there with her parents who looked like she maybe fractured her thumb or something like that. I overheard them say something about her being a gymnast and she'd like fell while doing something on a balance beam, which I gotta imagine that would have sucked. Um, so, anyways, there was an older man there too. He had broken a finger or something like that. He was sitting there with his wife, and geez, it was like, the wife even said at one point, she's like, "Man," she's like, "everybody's here for." Usually, you get people coming in with colds and stuff like that too, but she goes, "Everybody here, it's like they need X-rays. They need X-rays." So yeah, the X-ray technicians were working overtime last night. So, anyways, I uh, I got my I sitting there waiting. Yeah, so now they're taking me into this room. I'm like, "Geez, why am I being brought into a room? I thought I was going home." She goes, "Just will be a minute." Okay. She leaves. She comes back a few minutes later. She goes, "Okay, so it's going to be a little bit longer. Somebody else is using the EKG machine." I know what an EKG machine is. I've had problems with anxiety and panic attacks before, and stress and all that. And a few years back, I had quite a severe panic attack once that my heart was like beating out of my chest. It was racing really high. I was having troubles breathing and so forth, to the point where I thought, hey, I could actually be having a heart attack. So I went to the hospital then. They got me checked out. I wasn't having a heart attack, thank God. I was just having a panic attack. And I had an EKG then too. So I know exactly what an EKG is. I know what an EKG is because my wife's had to have an EKG before. My father has had a heart attack. My mother's had a heart attack. So, well, actually, technically my mother didn't have a heart attack, but nonetheless, we're very familiar with what EKG machines are. So I was like, to be fair, I was in so much pain, and the pain was starting to radiate around my whole area. Like, it was coming up through the front, underneath my pectoral muscle, kind of all up in this area, and the upper shoulder and chest area, all along the ribs, into the back as well. At that point, I was like, I guess anything's possible at this point. Maybe I did have some sort of heart attack or heart episode of some sort. But I couldn't see that, not just from reaching up for something, but maybe the stress of the pain gave me a heart attack. I don't know. So, yeah, so a few minutes later, she did come in with the EKG machine. She slapped all the pads all over my chest and sides and so forth, hooked it up, took like 3 seconds. She unhooked. She made me peel all the stickers off, which took me a few minutes because I actually missed 2. And then I was like, wait, they're still hiding. Anyways, found all the stickers, got them all off. A few seconds later, came back. Yeah, you're fine. Okay. So, again, we're ruling this a pulled muscle. But, like, it's so weird because, like, I've pulled muscles before and felt less pain doing worse, you know, like knowing that, okay, I definitely exerted too much and I've pulled this muscle and felt more pain or less pain than I did this time, where I didn't even think I did anything to actually aggravate it, and yet here I am. So, yeah, with that said, yeah, they gave me a pain pill to go because I was driving home. So, they were like, "Oh, it's gonna make you drowsy, but it will help you sleep." I'm like, "Okay, cool." And they want to make sure I got a good night's sleep, obviously with the pain. So I took the pill when I got home, went to bed. I got up, felt a little bit better, and honestly, I've felt better pretty much all day, even without the medication. It still hurts, but it's more just uncomfortable now. It's not like the excruciating pain I was in last night, so that's a plus, obviously. So yeah, that's pretty much been my week. And I'd like to. Tomorrow's my day off, and I'd like to think that tomorrow will be a nice, relaxing day, but unfortunately, it won't be. I have to get up pretty early in the morning. That's why I'm actually getting ready for bed now. I just took my pain medication again, just before I started this video. Got myself all set up, ready to go with the CPAP machine. Gonna go to bed, and I gotta get up early because I gotta take my son to a dentist appointment like for 7:30 in the morning. Because he's getting some cavities filled, and my son has some anxiety issues. He hasn't been diagnosed yet. He has been diagnosed with ADHD, and they believe he's on the spectrum for autism, but he hasn't been diagnosed yet. He's had some tests done and seen a doctor and so forth, but we got to take him in again in the future as soon as we get another appointment. But the waiting lists for these things are insane. So yeah, so because of all this, he can't sit still. He would never be able to sit through a cavity filling, and he's going to be pretty on edge tomorrow for sure. So yeah, so we gotta get, it's a sleep dentist, so they're gonna put him under, and then yeah, we get, and then obviously I've got my appointment, as I already mentioned, for the CPAP, make sure everything's working properly for me on that, and because of my injury from yesterday, they also want me to get physiotherapy and massage, so I'm going to go to the same place that I went to when I had my car accident last year. Hopefully they can facilitate what I need, and I can get that done as well. So that's the plan. It's going to be a pretty busy day tomorrow, even though it's my day off. Um, but that's what we're dealing with right now. So it is what it is. Um, I don't think I have anything else to say at this point. Um, there is other stuff going on, but I can't even talk about it right now. Hopefully, I'll be able to talk about it soon and have some news in that regard soon. Um, hopefully maybe even before the end of the week. I am gonna be doing hopefully another live video tomorrow night, not for this series of videos, but so now we're getting into like the YouTube page maintenance now. I'm hopefully gonna do some WrestleMania predictions tomorrow, as well as the NXT Takeover tomorrow night. Hopefully, I'm gonna try to do it live if I can, and get some predictions for that for the weekend. For what will be probably the first WWE thoughts video since last year. Because I think that's the last time I did one was for WrestleMania last year. The only other thing is I'm trying to decide if it's even worth putting up or trying to do like a donations page at this point. Probably not, because let's be honest, I don't have a lot of subscribers or followers on any of my platforms right now, other than Twitter. But half of those I think are people who are just trying to get me to refollow them. I'm sure most of them don't pay attention to my tweets either. And I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna pay for followers and all that BS. So it's probably not worth doing at this point. But maybe in the future. God knows with this whole sleep dentist thing, because of course my benefits don't cover all of it. God knows I could use some money. Between that, the CPAP machine, now my injury, which might cost me some money out of pocket up front as well. Money is a tad tight at the moment. But we'll get by as we always do here. We've got good friends and family that support us, and that's important. I know my wife's grandmother gave us some money to help pay for some of the upfront costs it's going to cost us tomorrow for our son's appointment. So, anyways, I know this is a little bit shorter. I know I said I was going to try and make each of these videos about half an hour, but honestly, I don't really have a lot to talk about right now, and I should be getting myself to bed. Because again, 7:30 is not that far away at this point. Anyways, so we'll see you tomorrow night for the WWE Thoughts video, and hopefully we'll have some more frequent live videos coming soon too. All right, take care, guys. We'll see you next time.